Module 4, Lesson 28, another computational method of solving a linear system. We've talked about graphing linear equations and finding the point of intersection. We've talked about solving systems by substitution. Third method is called elimination. So let's look at each of these four problems and figure out how we would solve them. The first problem here, A, how would you solve that? Well, since both equations are already solved for y, probably the easiest way to solve this would be by graphing. The second set of equations for b, the first equation is solved for y, but the second equation is not. So we could probably easily solve the second equation for y, or we could use the substitution method that we learned in the last section. So we could take the 7x minus 2 and substitute it in there for y. So probably substitution would maybe be easiest on that. The third one, they're both solved for x, so definitely the substitution method might be easier than solving both of these equations for y, so probably substitution here as well. And the last one, substitution's not really going to be easy because you're going to have to solve one of those equations for x or y, and graphing's not going to really be easy. So on this last problem, we're actually going to use the new method called elimination. So if we take this last problem that we were just given and we want to eliminate, what we're trying to do is get opposite coefficients either on x or y, and then we add the two equations and one of the variables will be eliminated. So in this case, both the y variables are already opposites. -5 and +5 are opposites. So if we take these equations and we add them, 6x plus 2x is 8x, -5y plus 5y, 0, and +21 and -5 would be 16. Divide by 8, look how easy this is, and we get 2 for x. Now, if we want to find out what y is, we can go back and we can try and eliminate again, or now we can substitute in x into one of the equations and figure out what y is. So I'll just choose the first equation here, and I'm going to put 2 in for x, and do the work to solve this now for y. So subtract 12 on both sides, divide by -5 on both sides. So y equals -9/5. So my final coordinate 2 and -9/5. All right, here's another one for us to try. Notice the coefficients on the x aren't opposites and the coefficient on the y's are not opposites. They're opposite sign, but they're not actually opposite numbers. So the easiest thing we might find to do, we can multiply the top equation to make the coefficients on the x opposite by multiplying this equation by 2. So when we do that, it's like the distributive property. You have to distribute and multiply the 2 to everything there. So we multiply it to the x, y, and to the number over here. Don't forget that number over here. Don't leave him out. Second equation, I'm not going to change. I just copy that over again, because now if I add these two equations, -4x plus 4x is 0. 14y minus 2y is 12y, and over here 10 and 14 is 24. Divide by 12, y equals 2. So if y equals 2, I can come back to either one of these equations, and I'm going to substitute y in as 2. So I'll do the bottom equation, 2 in for y, multiply here, add 4 on both sides, and then divide by 4, x equals 9/2. So our final solution here, 9/2, 2. All right, one more. This one's a little bit more difficult than the other two because we can't just take one of these equations and multiply through. We're going to have to multiply both equations through by something to eliminate them. And what we're multiplying the one through, we might multiply the other equation by something different. So we could try and make the x's become opposite or the y's become opposite. You pick whatever you prefer. I'm just going to try and make the x's become opposite this time. Now, if I play around with this, if I multiply the top equation by 3 and the bottom equation by 7, 7 times 3 is 21 and 7 times 3 is 21. So now I would have the same number. In order to make them opposite signs, I'll multiply one of these by a negative. So on the top equation, I'm going to multiply through by a negative. We could have done it on the bottom equation. Either way would work. So multiply all your terms by that negative 3. Watch your signs. And on the bottom, multiply all your terms by 7. Now, if we add these two equations, the x's eliminate. That's why it's called elimination. The y's, we get negative 6y. And over here, we get 55. Divide by negative 6. And y equals negative 55 over 6. Okay, now that we have y, we're going to substitute this value of y into one of these equations for y and solve for x. So again, I'm just going to use the bottom equation. Y we found to be negative 55 over 6. So when we multiply this, we will get positive 165 over 6. Subtracting on both sides, 165 over 6 is going to give us 3x equals negative 41 over 2, and divide by 3, x equals negative 41 over 6. So the final coordinate here, negative 41 over 6, negative 55 over 6. Now, which is more accurate, a decimal answer or a fraction answer? The fraction answer. The fraction answer is exact. Usually the decimal answers we have to round them. So if you round it, that makes it less accurate, less exact. Also, we can take these answers and we can substitute them in to our equations for x and y and check. So if I put this in here for x and I put this in here for y, I should be able to work that out and get negative 2. And then if I do it on the bottom one, put this in here for x and put this in here for y, work this out, I should get 7. If I don't get negative 2 on the top one or 7 on the bottom one, then this is not my true answer. There's some mistake somewhere. So it's a good way for us to check besides using another method like graphing or substitution.